let's bring back the BYD, right?
All right.
I'm sorry I took us off there.
Yep.
But BYD. Let's talk about BYD's presence in the U.S.
Okay.
Right. Right. So obviously they're trying to get the EVs in, but kind of talk about, we talked earlier this week about they've got buses, like electric bus plants already here, EV buses already out there in California.
Shocker. I'm shocked.
So they already here.
I'm shocked, bro. When you told me that offline, I was in pure shock, man. I mean, so I guess it's just it's a thin line, right, between EV and data. Now, are they able to? I don't know what they're doing with the data, but I'm still in shock because a bus carries so many people. If it's in California, I think that's what you said. If it's California, I'm assuming it's in the greater metro area. Greater metro areas carry so many lives. And again, when I think about China, I know they pump out a lot of product. I know they're the second largest economy in the world, but I just don't see quality. I've never seen quality come out of China, man.
Wow. So that's one thing we need to do. We need to convince Mr. DeBow that China makes a quality vehicle, that BYD is a quality vehicle, right? So for the BYD dealers out there, the BYD manufacturer, right? So, obviously if you, we can review your vehicle, right? Put you on the show, right? And we could go through it and see it for ourselves and compare it against Tesla, right? I did have I met a vendor this week, and she was her son had just purchased I think it's a Kia EV6.
Okay.
EV6 or EV9, one of the two.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
And she's an older woman, and wasn't really big into EVs, didn't care anything about them, but she said when she got into it, right, and was able to see all these things that you could do, as far as mapping your routes, knowing, finding your superchargers,
right,
vehicle driving on its own a little bit. And I just saw her face as it just started to light up, right? Just like, man, my son just loves this car. And I saw it and it was like, wow, this thing really is something else, right? And it's just another person, although it's not a Tesla,
right?
It's another person that has been exposed to the EV experience, right? The EV experience.
So I like that story because it makes me think about and I went tell a quick story. Went to the grocery store and the EV sound. Everyone knows the EV sound now. It kind of like it has that little hum, right? Yeah. And I hear the hum. I look over my shoulder, and it's a minivan. Minivan. I'm like that. I said they make EV minivans now, and I looked over, kind of looked out my side view, my driver's side window, and I see a tailpipe. I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't have that sound. I get out the car, go into the store, and I look back. What did it say? Hybrid.
Hybrid.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Right.
So this hybrid thing, it may have a better future because I've been in hybrids before. I have no respect for hybrids. I mean,
you can't say that here, man.
My bad. Hey, you know what? Let me be careful. It was a minivan. Okay. Right? So we all know, again, we talk about the hybrids, And there's we talk about EVs in particular Tesla drivers. The favorite thing that we love is what? That performance.
Right. That's right.
That performance, right?
Right.
So, all right, it's EV. The EV market is broad. Tesla's niche, I think, within the EV market is many things, but in particular is performance. Let's just be that's right. We can agree on that.
That's right.
So, but I would like to believe once the soccer mom gets out of her hybrid vehicle and has the chance to get into a 3Y XS Cybertruck, whatever its flavor is,
right?
I think there's going to be some love for those performance vehicles.
Performance vehicles, right?
Right. So I think my point that I'm making is that the hybrid makes it's kind of like a gateway. It's an entry point
to the EV.
To the EV space.
Wow. Which
again I like because my humble opinion is that you go get your Kia, but you're gonna come over with that Tesla Central eventually. Right.
That's right. And you know what? The thing is that when she said that, right?
Yeah.
Later on that evening, I went and looked up the vehicle and I saw kind of the things on it and saw the specs and I don't know. It wasn't. It still felt kind of complicated to me. Right.
That's it.
It still felt kind of complicated.
Why, Adrian?
Right. And on top of that, it was more expensive.
Yeah.
It was more expensive. And so I was like, once again, I presume the vehicle has to be that expensive, not because I believe that's that expensive because they have to charge that.
Right. If
If they can make the same profit at a lower price, obviously it makes common sense to charge a lower price so you can get the market share. But I just don't think they're efficient enough, right? So they have to charge a higher price, right? So, that's something. So you did bring up about the hybrid, right? Well, one of the benefits, with the hybrid is that you get this crazy mileage. I got my wife owns a hybrid.
All right, bro. See you next week.
I got a buddy that owns a hybrid and he brags, oh man, I get 500 miles. I get 500 miles to the tank, right? And I guess my response to that is, obviously to each his own.
Yeah.
To each his own, but, depending on your driving habits, doesn't matter whether you have 250 miles or 500 miles.
It don't.
If you're only running 50 miles or 100 miles a day,
right?
It don't matter. So go ahead and talk about that.
Man. I mean, look, I've taken my car, down to Miami, up to, I think it's as north as I want to say Port St. Lucie, if my memory serves me correct. And frankly, that's good enough, man. I could do that on one charge.
Right.
I can go down and get back home on one charge on both of those, right? I don't need to pull over and stop. And then the other thing is that, you can set up the mapping, right? The milestones or whatever, to know where the charge stations are at. And it's not like it takes we ain't talking 30 minutes. You go to supercharge station, you up and ready to go in 10 minutes, 15 minutes. You go use the bathroom, whatever, go grab a snack, whatever, do what you got to do, get out the car, take a break. You need to stretch your legs anyway.
Right.
And even in a gas car, you still got to stop and get some gas.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. I've never, it's funny. People talk a lot. You're going to laugh about this one. People talk a lot about this waiting for charge and stuff, how long it takes. Now, if you drive your car all the way down to E and you want to fill that sucker all the way back up, I don't know about you, but I never checked how long it takes me to fill up my car full tank of gas.
Right. You're right, man.
It might take 10 minutes.
Right. That's right. That's right. I'm not measuring it. Yep. Just fill it up.
Just
That's
fill
right.
it up, man.
Just fill it up. That's
back.
right, baby.
I'll use the bathroom, get some chips or something, man.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, you're right.
So
man.
when you get an EV, all of a sudden people got their stopwatch out. They got their stopwatch. Like, nah, man, calm down, man.
Yeah. That's it's tough. It's tough, being introduced to a new thing, and people always want to bring something up, right?
Right.
Bring something up to knock it down or disparage it. So to me, those things didn't matter before, so why did it matter now when it comes to this new tech, right?
Right.
And one thing that the vendor did say that when they did charge, it was already scheduled in the trip, and they scheduled around the lunches and the dinners, and it didn't even mean anything to them, right? They were going to eat and doing other things, and it didn't even matter. So, yeah. And then it made me think, I don't know if we went over it before, but when I took my son to a basketball tournament this summer,
yeah,
and there's a guy there with a, I think it's a Toyota Crown, I think it's called. It's like a hybrid.
Okay.
And I was looking at it, and I asked him, it was an older gentleman, I asked him, I said, hey, man, is this an EV? He was like, no, it's a hybrid.
Okay.
I would never get an EV. I don't want to get stuck anywhere. I was like, well, where would you be?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You just wander out somewhere. My question to that was why? Like, why would you be out there?
And it's a minivan, right?
No, it's a car. It's a nice car.
Okay.
It's almost like an Avalon, like a upgraded Camry.
Right. Yeah.
And it was really nice. And I was really like, he probably thought I was gonna trying to take it.
Yeah.
But he was like, yeah, I don't know. He told me the mileage on it, and I'll never get an EV, blah, blah, blah. And that was my question when I talked to my son. I was like, well, why would you do that? Like, why would you be just like in the middle of nowhere?
It makes zero sense, man. I get. I think it makes you laugh. Exactly. I mean, we're like people. I think make up way more about the experience than is probably the reality, man.
Right.
For fact. I mean, and don't get me wrong. I know someone that has like a Ford Lightning. He had challenges. I mean, number one, he lived in an apartment. Right. You already know the inherent challenges there. Number one. Number two, prior to Tesla allowing Ford to be able to charge their charge stations, he was going all over he would go to those, like, I don't know, the off-brand, I'll call them for now, the off-brand charging stations, and have difficulty with charging his car. So infrastructure matters. Not to go down a rabbit hole. Infrastructure matters.
It matters.
So all these things that I think Tesla compensates for is kind of where I'm getting from the guy who was spooked, right? He'll never get an EV.
Right.
Fine. Enjoy your non-performing.
Right. You still got to change your oil in the car, right? You got to change transmission fluid, right? You got all kind of joints and all that kind of stuff, dude. Don't get me started. Yep. I went to the dealership yesterday, took my son's car up there. Yeah, man. Oh, this is wrong. This is wrong. And I'm just like, no, this whole experience is wrong. This whole experience is wrong. How about that?
Man, hand you over a bill as long as your arm.
Yeah, man. Just, I don't miss that. I don't miss it. No, I don't miss it at all, buddy.
Again, I think we said in the previous episode, this experience is kind of like, again, I don't know what you had before your iPhone. I had a BlackBerry, and I loved that BlackBerry. I thought it was everything. To be able to fill on the keypad, and if you can recall the way the letters were structured, or the the characters were structured. It was almost like a regular keyboard. It had the two like dots on there, so you can know where to start your thumbs and all that type of stuff. Adrian, I would never go back to a BlackBerry.
Right.
There's no value in here. It was so. It felt at the time when it first got it, it felt intuitive. It felt natural. But once you went to an iPhone, you're like, what? If you had the BlackBerry, did you have your little holster on your hip, the belt?
I had a Palm Pilot. I had a Palm Pilot, yeah. But I had a holster for that.
Yeah, I had a holster, right?
Yeah.
Could you imagine wearing a holster right now?
Nah, man. You get laughed out. Wherever you are, you get laughed out. Laughed out.
I can imagine. Yeah. It's like a fanny pack.
Right. Those are in now. But nah. Nah. You won't catch me. You won't catch me doing it.
Not for brothers talking Tesla.
Nah.
Oh man, I had to get that one out.
I got you, man.
I had to get that one out, man.
I got you. So kind of with that, right? With the we talked about kind of the why and just where it fits, right?
Right.
So a lot of folks in the United States, car owners or households are 2-car owners, right? And they got vehicles, whether they're brought together from the spouses, they had their own vehicles, but they're two vehicle homes, right? 2-vehicle households. So, and eventually they have one vehicle that's for utility, right? And another vehicle that does something else. So the vehicle has some certain purpose, right? So let's kind of dive into that, and all of a sudden that all the expectations are thrown onto the EV, right? Onto the Tesla. Like this got to be everything, right? Right? When in fact it has its purpose, right?
Right.
It's got its purpose there. So, kind of like what I was saying, like in my mind, hey man, who cares if you have a 500-gallon tank or can go 500 miles when you're only doing 100 a day and you can charge it at home?
Don't matter.
Maybe it doesn't even matter, right?
Doesn't matter.
Maybe different when you go out of town. Like we can't hold all my vehicles. Well, we got another vehicle too that our entire family fits in, and we take everyone can sit and feel comfortable because the Tesla that we have is not as comfortable as the other vehicle.
Right.
I mean, but the Tesla is the primary vehicle, and it gets a lot of use out of it, right?
Right.
So I'm not knocking it, and I'm not knocking the other one, right? But I know the play isn't. I know 10 years from now, it's not to replace the Tesla with the gas vehicle. It's not to go backwards, right? It's for the Tesla, the EV, to migrate forward and to do more and have a larger capacity so it can take over what the other vehicle is doing right now, what the ICE vehicle is doing right now, right?
Right.
So you want to move forward, not moving backwards. So
I got to throw one quick point in for the audience.
Yeah.
Neither one of us has the version of the Tesla that yields the most miles.
Right. That's right.
And we are extremely happy with the vehicle.
Yeah. So I thought you had the long range.
No, I thought it was one. There's one level that has more mileage than mine.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure. I might have to go and double check that a little.
Okay.
I want to talk to you.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure my version is not the one that gives the most mileage. Because I want to have a little bit of performance.
I got you. I
didn't want to go zero. Unless I'm wrong, the one that has the least amount of performance also has maybe more mileage than yours, but less miles than less miles than mine. Right. But I'm pretty sure I definitely don't have the one that has the lowest performance of the Y.
Okay.
You have a higher performance. I'm one tier down.
Okay.
But do you know if that last tier in terms of performance, if it has the most mileage?
No, it should be a rear wheel drive. So it's a rear wheel, a standard,
right?
The long range in the MYP in the performance.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. I'm gonna have to go double check. I'm pretty sure, but in any case, we're very happy with the mileage.
Yeah.
Right. Wise. Right. No question about it. I mean, I but you said something. You used the word utility in your question, in the way you presented this topic.
Right.
And I couldn't help myself, but I mean, frankly, like this cargo space in my car, they don't even use now. I don't use the front that much as I thought I was going to use it. That little pit in the back with the extra. So I just threw some like miscellaneous stuff in there. I really don't use it. I mean, maybe if I go pick up some groceries or whatever, I'll throw some stuff in there. But like, frankly, I don't need to use it. I can leave it right on the main, cargo area, and then keep it moving. Go ahead and just go by my. But so utility. I think the Tesla has more than enough utility, and honestly, I was really driving towards getting an X. There was a disagreement in my household, and we didn't get the X. And the perception was that the X did not have as much cargo space as the SUV that we eventually went with.
Okay,
maybe we have lost an inch, maybe 2 inches. Okay, maybe, yeah. Right. But the utility is there. Right. And I didn't even say anything about Cybertruck yet. Right. I didn't say anything about Cybertruck yet. Right. But just on the Y, just on the X, my position is that there's enough utility that it can go. It could be a good. It'll be close to any vehicle that you want to. If you're gonna pick, I'm making it up a luxury. It has to be comparable to luxury SUVs. Luxury SUVs, I think it's comparable. Right. And that's the thing about it is that you forget. I wouldn't say you. I would say me personally. Yeah. I forget that it's an SUV. Right. It's classified as an SUV, right? It is. Yep. Classified as an SUV, right? So, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Utility's there. Yeah, utility's there. Utility is there. But you had the same experience. Well, are you trying to like figure things out, or are you kind of like, I got extra space because I got these? No, I was quite surprised, especially in the trunk. I could put the dog there when I take him to his stuff in the mornings, and then I've hauled stuff for work, right? For different conferences and things of that nature, right? Nothing big or heavy, right? But there's a lot of there's space back there. There's space back there, right? Now, just in all transparency, when I got a family, we have a family of 4. When we leave out of town, we got luggage, we don't drive it, right? It's just, I can't put all the luggage, put everybody in there, right? But if it's just me and my son, or me and my sons, 3 people, it has the space. You get to, it works. Yeah, okay. It works for us. It works for us, man. But cool. Last topic for tonight before we wrap it up for these folks here. So we want to get into this robo-taxi, right? Robo-taxi and Uber, right? So just kind of to play with, just kind of bring it into Elon's ecosystem, right? So what Elon wants to do, he wants to use the unused time for your vehicle. So you go to work. What do you do with your car when you go to work? What's your car doing? It's sitting there, right? He wants to monetize that time, right? So he wants to be able to use that, allow folks to use their vehicles as a taxi service, right? So,
Uber's president has some things to say about that. But yeah, what's your take on that, Sadat?
Excuse me. So one, because I want to have access to my car, even though I'm not using it, I'll probably be less inclined to let my car enter into the fleet during the downtime.
Right.
But what I would do is I would immediately purchase a Model 3. Immediately. Or 2 or 3.
And have your own fleet, huh?
And just have a little fleet out there. Go work.
Wow.
What? No brainer. It's no brainer. And leverage that asset, right? It'll just be like, Airbnb, purchase real estate to get into Airbnb, purchasing a stock and, leveraging that asset to do other things, right?
Right.
I mean, to finance other projects or what have you. I mean, that to me would be the value proposition. And furthermore, what I don't know is if, because it's an asset, used for business,
Mm-hmm.
there could be tax benefits.
Right. Right, it should be. Yeah, it should be.
Should be tax benefits associated with that. So, which again, that's not the first thing that people are going to put on the table, right? People are talking about the sexiness of being able to utilize the asset and, is downtime and all that. Man, I don't care about that. I'm going to I'm going to go buy me a Model 3.
Right.
And go work.
Go to work. That's right.
I'll pay the insurance. I'm sure the insurance premium is going to be through the roof. So there's no question about that. But I would like to believe that the benefits will far outweigh the cost.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, but when Uber came out, I'm like, my goodness. Like, if I really had extra time, I would do that in a heartbeat. Mm-hmm. Not now, where I'm at my career, but at the time.
Yeah.
Goodness, I would do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah. And I think with that, you don't have to, you can pick and choose when you want to work, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And, and you want to just imagine. And this is again, tangent. You come to America, you don't know the language, but you have capital. You don't know the language, but you have capital. You don't need to go be an Uber driver no more. You can buy a Model 3 and deploy that asset and let it go make money for you as an autonomous vehicle.
Right.
And then now you can take that time, that critical time, and go do something else with it.
That's right. Well, I think Uber CEO was he wasn't too I guess he wasn't concerned about Tesla entering in that market, into the ride sharing market, because he thinks of Tesla as being a automotive company, right? Mm-hmm. Which is Uber's a ride sharing,
right?
And obviously they've had to they know the business, right? They know the business. Right. They know the drivers' behaviors, right? They know what the drivers are looking for, and it took time for them to get that right. So he doesn't, from what I saw, he doesn't feel too threatened by that. I would say that now, today he might not feel threatened, but once that FSD accelerates and comes full circle, it's going to be a serious threat, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, again, you and I both tried it out. I mean, it felt as natural as you could ever feel if someone else was driving.
Right.
I mean, it's just unbelievable, that technology, the detail. Yeah. And again, we've talked about it, but maybe I can't remember the gentleman's last name from Uber, the CEO, but maybe he hasn't tried the FSD, and maybe that's the reason why he's making those comments.
Right. Yeah, it could be, and yeah, because I think some of the reservations that folks would have about. Because, people that rent cars, you're not, it's not your car. So you do things in it that may, you may not do in your own car. Right. But if FSD is controlling it, that kind of takes that out of it, that driver, because there'd be no human driver. Right. So just sitting in the back. Right. So pretty interesting. Yeah. And, that's something that they're working on. And, that's what you buy into when you purchase a Tesla, right? You're buying into this whole sphere, right? So, but yeah, man. Anything else? Any other topics before we get out of here for this evening?
There are several, but I won't keep it rolling, man. There are several topics rolling around in my head right now.
Right.
But I would say the big thing is, it's and I was thinking about this earlier today. NVIDIA is going to report this week. NVIDIA is going to report this week.
Right.
And I'm in my mind, there's a strong connection between the conversation we just had on FSD,
NVIDIA and Tesla and FSD. Now I know they use the some of the cars have I think it's the AMD Ryzen in it, and then the other ones have an Intel chip. I think mine's got I'm not sure which chip mine has.
Okay.
But yeah, you're right. So you think there's going to be a big connection in when they report?
And frankly, in terms of the overall AI landscape, right? So they hit big numbers. I mean, the name of man, you asked me if there was more, man. I can keep going.
Yeah. Go ahead. Touch it real quick.
Yeah. If the more cash that NVIDIA has, the more dangerous they're gonna be. It's my point.
Wow. Okay.
That's the punchline. The more cash, the more research, the better the product, the more AI, you know the rest.
Let's go round and round. Wow.
So let's see. We'll cover that a little bit, maybe a little touch of it on our next episode.
Yeah.
Interesting week.
All right, cool. Well, definitely appreciate you, man. Definitely. It's always good, my brother.
Yeah, this is fun. I'm enjoying it. And won't be. I could talk Tesla. I could really talk Tesla every day. We do it once a week.
I got it, man. We've got some special guests lined up, so you guys stay tuned. Once again, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like us. Tell us about your friends. Tell us about us to your friends. And actually put in the comments, some topics you like for us to touch on too, right? Any questions, anything like that. Once again, we're not the experts, but it's a hobby for us. It's a passion for us. We have the vehicles. We see the long-term potential. Don't get caught up in it. It doesn't do this. It doesn't do that. Right. The big picture is what keeps us in it, right? So, all right, my brother. Signing off. You take it easy, man.
Yep. All right, talk to you later.
Yes, sir. Have a blessed week.